There now is so much uncertainty surrounding President Biden's decision to drop out of the presidential race. David McLennan, political science professor at Meredith College, joins us live now to break down what's next. Professor, we thank you for your time. Let's get right into it. Now, Biden has previously said that if he was suffering some type of health ailment, he would step down. That does not seem to be the case, but are some wondering if he should step down at this point?
Well, it's a question, and you're hearing Republicans say this a lot. You're not hearing Democrats say this, and nobody on the Biden cabinet is raising this. This really is pretty similar to LBJ leaving the race in 1968. Although he left for Vietnam, he was in poor health too and made it through his entire presidency.
All right, there's so many questions about this one as well. What about all that campaign funding money that President Biden has raised? What happens to that now?
Well, with Kamala Harris, it's much easier. She was on the official paperwork, and they filed the paperwork to change the name from Biden-Harris to just the Harris campaign with the FEC this afternoon. If they choose someone else, there are a lot of questions.
Let's talk about voter turnout. Will a new Democratic candidate bring more people to the polls?
That's a real question. Certainly Joe Biden's approval rating had gone down. His numbers were pretty low. Almost anyone on the ballot, Kamala Harris or some other Democrat's going to create some enthusiasm. How long that enthusiasm lasts, will it last until Election Day? We'll have to wait and see about that.
All right, there's so many races out in North Carolina. What about the impact on other Democratic races on the ballot here in North Carolina?
Well, having a stronger person at the top of the ticket, someone who is bringing out votes, is going to help people down ballot. So you would think that Harris or another candidate would add some enthusiasm to Democratic and Democratic-leaning voters, and that would help from the governor's race all the way down the ballot.
Yeah, let's stretch that question out a little bit more, Professor. We've reported that Cooper could be a VP candidate if Harris were the nominee. Now, would that be enough to help Democrats win North Carolina?
Well, research tells us that the vice president helps about 3% in his or her home state. So if this race were to tighten up, the Cooper vice presidential nomination could, in fact, be enough to swing the race toward the Democrats.
So many questions, and what a busy, busy day. Thank you again, Professor McLennan, for joining us, political science professor at Meredith College, always breaking it down for us. Thank you once again.